Hi everybody. We have everyone. We have not everyone. We had one single guy, but it's some guy. It's David Grondin, CEO of Tomagold. Tomagold is a gold company, of course. They are near Chibougamau, Chapet. They have a nice project there. It's not a new project. It's something that has been looked at before by other company, but it seems like they have missed something, and Tomagold has found it, and we'll be talking about that. Mr. Grondin, good day.
Good day. Thanks for having me here today.
Yeah, thank you very much. You're welcome. And to me, looking at that, it seems like you have found something that the other missed before.
Yes, actually, but well, I agree with you. Second worked on it in the 80s and the 90s, and Stella worked on it in the early 2000s. And we came in like 2 years, like 1 year and a half ago, and we struck big like a year ago, actually, at that time. With 238 grams, but that was on a different program. But recently, the last few months, we came back. We started a new program, 9 holes, the preliminary holes. So we had like 11 grams, 33, 40, 50 grams over 3 to 5, 8 meters. And that's what got the stock really moving from then. 6 out of 9 holes in that specific area is really significant for us. And historically, the project was always work at a vertical depth of maximum 100, 125 meters. We've worked that model too when we took over the project, and we didn't have much success. We had some good grades, some 20, but short. When we have the length, we didn't have the grade. When we have the grade, we didn't have the length.
And then you decided to go see deeper.
Yeah, deeper is better. That's our saying in the company. So we started at 175, 250, 300. Now we're doing 6 more hole at 350. Trying to delimitate and understand what's happening. What we see though, it's the mineralization is changing. Some from black quartz, you're entering into the felsic unit, which basically you're entering massive sulfide. So massive sulfide contain usually gold, zinc, copper, silver. So you have the chance of having polymetallic with higher grade, and usually the deposit is a lot bigger, larger. Yeah. So it's something really interesting, and we are quite active on the project. And we do own also the boat extension of Monster, which is all called Lac à l'eau jaune and Winchester. So Winchester, 100% owned by us. And if people think Monster Lake, it's interesting and it presents a lot of potential, we think Winchester presents a lot more potential. You're talking on a structure that is large, maybe 15 meters on surface on Monster, but on Winchester it's 60 meters wide in most of the area. And we haven't touched it yet. And most of the drill holes that were done also were really shallow, 89 meters, 100 meters. But the intersect were really long, like 0.4 grams over 90 meters and stuff like that. So we think, again, with the same model that we have developed for Monster, going in Winchester, and we will apply the same type of, we will put our new glasses and see the world differently. And when we look at it, I think we will have really good surprise also on Winchester. But until we drill, we don't know.
Okay, the company have 54 million outstanding shares. 54
million, yeah.
54 million. You made a deal with a company called Quinto
Real, yeah.
and Real Capital.
Yep.
And it's funny because you have almost the same chart.
Yes.
And but this is a new company. And
yes.
Can you tell us about this company, where it comes from, and how they ended lending money to you?
Well, Quinto Real was basically a CPC, capital pool, GCP, depending on the term you want to use. And they were supposed to do an oil and gas deal. So the oil and gas deal didn't go through, and they've been able to negotiate a breakup fee. So basically, they recover all the cash that was spent doing the transaction, the QT. Qualifying transaction, and also a breakup fee in share from the oil and gas company. So basically, the company Quinto was sitting on a bundle of cash or quasi cash. So early November, when I go back in 2012, early November, I launched the financing, started to ask broker, we would like to do $1 million or $2 million to work on Monster, and it was really difficult. To be really honest with you and with all your auditors. Viewers, it was really difficult. The junior market is so depressed right now. So we got a good financing at the end of the day. In December, we had a good deal. But Quinto came in the picture because we know some of the board member. I say, or would you be interested to sign a JV with us, and then you can earn in a chunk of the project? And they say yes. So we negotiated quite a big JV. So $6 million in work that needs to be spent the first 4 years, $250,000 plus 10% plus the 1 million share of Quinto payable immediately. So that's 10% of the capital of Quinto.
So you got the shares already. You got part of the money already.
Yeah.
They started. They spent 600,000 so far on the 6 million, which is 10%.
Yeah. So they started to earn in, but right now the interest is at zero, because to earn their 50%, they need to spend the 6 million, the share, and the cash payment. So it's going to be like a work in progress. We will work on Monster together. So basically, they are the banker of the project, and we are the operator. So all the geological knowledge, the tech expertise, it's us. We've been on that project, since the beginning, but also the VP Exploration has been on this for 6 years, 7 maybe. So we had a lot of knowledge transferred to us, and we've been able to work on this. So it's a great combination, and we work great together. And I think it's going to be good for the long haul at the end.
So is it possible that you will not stay just a drilling company, but you may become a producer one day? Is that what you're aiming?
We always aim at that. And what got the market interested in us, it's the kind of grade. It's not super high grade, but I would say it's high grade. You can definitely say it's high grade. You have a good length. So at a certain point, it could be mineable. You can open a mine on it if you still to build the reserve.
An open pit mine you're looking at,
even
because
underground.
200, 300 feet still can be an open pit. It's not like 4,000 feet.
No, but you can, we will have the luxury of choose if it's going to be open pit, underground, because with that kind of grade on surface, it's lower grade and smaller intersect. But as we go deeper, the grade increase and it's getting wider also.
Okay.
So that's why it's interesting. And it seems that we're entering into a massive sulfide. So yes, eventually we would like to go eventually into production. Is it going to be, technically right now it's going to be with Quinto and us. So that's what it's going to be if we decide to go into production.
But we never know. Other partners could be. You're not going to close any door.
No.
Methanol is 80 kilometers away from where you are.
Yeah, exactly.
So, if you get that kind of concentration and if you can get the right to the material and even concentrate it after, there could be a bunch of gold in a single truck that would be worthwhile to drive somewhere.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So the return per ton is quite amazing versus the low grade or super low grade, very high tonnage.
Yeah, that you can't ship to process it because it doesn't pay for the gas of the truck.
Exactly. And you lose time in transport, and it's really cost us. The capex is too big for that kind of. But you know what? It got the market really got some good traction with the volume and everything. Institution picked up on that. I would say mostly American institution, some of American. Yeah, because the week before the release, I was presenting Toma in New York for a full week. And when I was on my way to the airport, I got the call from the geologist say, "Hey, haul the stock. We got the grade at 3 o'clock." So I just called and we hauled the stock because I haven't seen it yet. So all the investors, the large shareholder, and funds that I've met, they were still in the office. So they were like, "What's the grade?" I don't know. I'm the CEO. I haven't seen it. So basically, that's what we got all the traction and interest from also Europe and some fund in Asia, and that's got the stock liquid for a certain while. Now I would say the market is a little bit more quiet, waiting. It's in a wait and see approach, waiting to see what's going to happen. We're doing another 6 hole that we announced previously after the last result. 4 have been completed. We're doing the 5th. And if everything goes well within maybe a week, by the end of the week, early next week, it's going to be finished and then sent to the lab for maybe 10, 15 days.
Is there any known big resources around your area somewhere?
It depends on the size of the dome that you want to take. If you go up to north, you will have Barry, like with Methanol, Eagle, all these guys. But former mine, you're talking about Joe Mann, the former Campbell Resource Group, but it's been shut down. So there was a lot of... Chibougamau was a large mining camp for a while.
Okay, we have a few questions here. With the gold, you have found the company now looking at the time for mining the gold. What is the company now looking at the timeline, for mining the gold?
Well, timeline is, well, we will start first with the 42101. So according to our plan, and if it continues like this, we'll have a 43 done by the end of the year. Let's say, if nothing changed, the grade is consistent, or you can still put together all the mineralization together, when you can start a PEA quite easily with this. So down the road production, it doesn't happen in the next 24 months. It's more, you're more likely on a 36, a little bit more than that.
Yeah, the process to start a mill,
it's a different story.
It's complex. It's a different story, but it cannot be started unless you find sufficient materials and worldwide materials.
Exactly.
We have another question here from Felix. He said, where you at the PDAC conference? Where were you at the PDAC conference? I had that question too. I was trying to find you. And if yes, was your impression of the investor mood at the PDAC? You're asking the question to Mr. Grondin or to me? Because I do have an opinion about that. They were not in such a good mood. They were all saying what you were saying. Yep. Money is difficult to raise. Is that the feeling you had at the PDAC?
Yes, everybody was there. I would say there was even more people, but nobody was really interested in getting in, signing checks.
No, and spending money was an issue there also, because that's the first time I saw that at the PDAC. Some companies were only there for 2 days.
Yes.
So they changed the setup of the show in between after the last couple of days, because some companies seems not to be able to afford the 4 days.
Yeah, I personally know a lot of companies, like their friend or the CEOs, they were only there for 2 days, either the first two, the last two. We didn't have a booth. I was in Toronto for a full week before PDAC meetings, and during PDAC I was also in meetings. I was booked like full tight for 2 weeks.
Yeah, I know you were booked all the way, because we couldn't get an interview each other. we were playing on the phone, but what's the question are really coming for you, man. Are you guys drilling the newest 7-hole from east to west or from west to east? This guy seems to know the place.
Yeah, he seems to know the project. Well, what we are doing right now is we're doing few holes below the last one, so we're doing at the 350 meters
low, almost in the same hole but deeper.
We had a square, like 9 holes. So if you picture that, you go and you do some holes below that, and after that we move to east, and we'll also do some. It's not infill, but we would like to prove that it's because it's been asked to us many times. Is it continuous? Can you really prove the continuity? What's the nuggety effect? What's the vein? There's been a lot of questions from institution, geologists, financial analysts. So we'll do some sort of 2 infill. So basically, because we have step out of between 50 to 7,500 meters apart between most of the holes, so we will try to, with punching 2 holes right in the middle of this cluster.
Okay.
You'll be able to connect.
Expand.
Yeah, you can connect, and you know that block, and you
see where the core is, and then see where the okay. And I have another question here saying, when are you expecting to start drilling the property you own 100%?
Probably when breakup is done.
Because so far you are drilling in the property where you have the money partner.
Yeah. So we will probably start on Winchester. So Winchester, like I mentioned, is the southwest extension, where it's a lot larger. But
not with Quinto's money.
No, it's my money. It's our money.
Yeah, okay.
It's Tomagold money.
How much money Tomagold has?
Right now we have close to 600.
Okay. So you can do a lot. You cannot do a lot of drilling with that.
No, but you can do a good
test.
Few thousand to test the same strategy that we've used for Monster Lake. So that's when. So probably right after breakup. So breakup is probably in May. We'll be able to launch the drill there. We can drill during winter, but we need to absorb all the information that we just got. After 15 holes, and you see all the mineralization changing, the grades. So the geologists are all white, really bright guy, but they need to sit down, think a little bit, just to compute, and we need to output and even provide data and maps and section to the market, even to us, because the beat is quite fast. So you just want to make sure that you don't miss anything.
Yeah.
So
So far at the moment, you're not really into it too much for the drilling because now it's the snow melting season.
but
and,
we're still drilling. We will be
you're
drilling.
drilling now, but still frozen on the ground. But you will have to take some sort of a break when it gets too wet.
No, I can continue. That's the
You
thing.
can?
Yeah, during PDAC, I sat down with the drillers and I say, I would like to continue drilling. Do you have any solution for me? Because I don't want to stop now and just start back in June. He said, well, let me think about that. And we came up with a really bright solution. So we can drill all year long now. So we will set up like some wood bridge, whatever it's a setup that you're proposing. They have tested it many times before up north in the iron ore basin and all these things. So say, is it proven? Yes, it works perfect. So we can test it, and I have the option, the opportunity to drill all year long if I want. Right now, maybe the little downtime will take for maybe 2-3 weeks, just to make sure that we're not missing anything. Because, like I mentioned, going at depth, you have a lot of massive sulfide that coming in. So, for people to know, massive sulfide deposit, the most well-known one are Bousquet and La Ronde. So if you're an investor and you look at it, La Ronde is one of the most prolific mines right now in Canada. And it's a massive sulfide deposit, which the mineralization started at 600 meters of vertical depth. So basically, they have everything in that mine: coal, copper, zinc, everything. So I'm not saying the same thing, but it's the same type of alteration. So that's what we will try to push and work on it and understand it better.
Another question here. Last question: should we consider a company like yours for a buy? That's a question. I know what you are going to answer.
I will say yes, but I will put also an extra notes to that. When exploration company, I think what happened, and you see it with the TS6V right now, it's the really short term. Like it's like go in for 1 second, go out for the next for the exploration. The prime exploration. It takes a long time.
Yes.
And people that step in, step out. So yes, they will make money. Yes, they will be really happy with their investment and probably make some profit and good profit. But if you go in and you like and you understand the project, and I'm available, and thanks to you, I can explain it better. And when they understand and they just put more effort and understand what's going on, and because exploration, you will have some miss. Like I don't expect to have 100% hit ratio on every holes I do. So when they get that, I think they are most successful investor in the exploration field. So that's, that I remove the pain of how the stock always goes down as soon as there's one glimpse of one hole that miss.
Yeah.
So yes, I think it's a good buy. We think we have something really big on our hand right now, and the property is 4.5 kilometers long. The model that we just drilled on area 325, we call it, on Monster Lake. There's 7 others places like this we would like to test. So maybe I have a pocket there, and then I might have a 500 meters from there, another pocket like that, and then 200 meters, another pocket. So if you
the potential is there.
The potential is
still
there.
A lot to work with.
Yeah.
And I have a last question here. Would you partner with, like, they're asking if you can have other partners. I think it's possible.
Yes, but I will, in this case, I think, because your question is relating to Q Quinto, I will not GV other project with Quinto. Quinto have a lot in their hand right now. We're dealing with Monster. Also, if you ask me as a CEO, risk management, I don't know. Quinto might have some. I don't know. So,
but I mean, it's a win-win situation because Quinto now has a deal for 50% if they land all of the 6 million, if they spend all of the 6 million. But they can also buy another 20%, which
by spending more.
By spending more again, so that will leave them to 70%.
Yeah.
Okay, but since the other Winchester property is just at the tip of this other property, so the more drilling they do on this joint venture property, the more value it gives to your other project where you get 100%.
Exactly, because Winchester, when I presented to someone, I started to present right now because we tried to put Winchester more on the map. Monster Lake is huge. It's called Monster Lake for a reason. It's along all the strike of 4.5 kilometers, there's a lot of gold everywhere. Something's controlling it, and we think we find it, so we'll continue to work towards that. But the system is 5 to 15 meters large. If you go on Winchester, it's 60 meters large. So if I don't put it's not a rule of 3 like, and you just apply the same ratio, but think about maybe, I don't know, if I tomorrow release 10 grams over 30 meters. That would be significant for the area. That was going to bring value to Toma, bring value to Quinto, and basically you can start talking about building a new mining camp in that area, knowing that there's many lands like this. But you're talking long term. So for short term, no. But for just a bit longer time, maybe but even longer, 6 months, I won't have drill done on Winchester. I'm going to have the grade by then because we're thinking about going in May. So,
Mr. Grondin, this is so cool. It's nice. You know, I would like to talk another half an hour with you, but that's all the time that we had. You know what? I think I'm going to go there on Monster Lake by myself just to see if there are monster walleye in there this summer.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much for coming. This is very interesting. And tell us anytime you have something about the company. We're really interested.
Perfect. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.